at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
Hey, and welcome everybody to our daily gun show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific, for about an hour or 90 minutes each day. We do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We run it live over on YouTube. We simulcast it over at gunchannels.com, and we're watching the live comments that are coming in on both Gun Channels and YouTube. Then after it's all over, we'll take the audio from it and turn it into a podcast over on iTunes. And dub texting. So we always encourage people that are listening to the show to leave us some feedback at whatever platform you're listening to it on. That way we know where you're listening, and it helps us to get recommended to more listeners and viewers. So we appreciate that. There's 5 hosts. 3 of us are in here today. Just texted Bob. I don't know where he is. I don't know where Smeggy is. We got Dano jumping in from Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Yep, glad to be here.
And we got Z jumping in from the islands of Maui.
Aloha.
Or is it just one island of Maui?
Well, Maui County has a few islands, but yes, there is only one island of Maui.
And then I'm down here in Arizona. So let's see. Today is episode 298, where we're talking about the various gun-related insurances and CCW insurance and theft insurance and all the different types of insurance-related stuff to guns. And then for our entertainment segment today, we'll be doing top 10 vehicles. We'll also be talking about all the stuff we hit on a daily basis, and then, of course, the tactical quizzes today. So before we jump into it, I suppose we usually take a break at the beginning of the show, see if anything happened overnight, anything worth talking about. Hey, there's Bob.
Hey, sorry, late guys, lost track of time doing laundry.
I told you I forgot how to tell time. It's all good.
The worst part for a Canadian doing laundry in Arizona is he has to find a river. We don't have a lot of those.
Kidding.
Yeah, but those dungarees wash right up, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So what happened overnight? Nothing?
Sounds like nothing.
Yeah, I kind of lost track of it.
Which is sometimes no news is good news.
And that is true.
Yep.
But we might be filling time for a moment, so.
Well, I guess we can move along then if there's nothing happen overnight. We'll be digging at the tactical quiz coming up towards the end of the show, and we posted a video over on the Instagram. I'll post a link to the people over on the YouTube side and over on Gun Channels, so you can check it out. And that'll be, and we posted that'll be part of the clue to the tactical quiz later on. And I think I'll just screen share real quick here. What's going on? What is going on? Why am I getting that even on this screen here? So I'll just capture this. Is it showing up? And I'll hit the play.
We're about to go live on the Daily Gun Show every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. And today is the tactical quiz. And the question today is how many 40 Smith & Wesson rounds are in this blender? So that'll be the question. This is the clue. And later on in the show, it's about to start, we will have the answer and the winner. So how many 40 Smith & Wesson are in this blender? Looking forward to seeing you over at the show. Thanks for watching. We're about to go live on the...
All right, so that was the clue to part of the tactical quiz later on today.
I say it's almost unprecedented that you would give a kind of a little bit of a hint actually before the show even began.
Well, I want people to be able to head over to Instagram and check out the clue itself, because you could probably freeze frame it and try to count them, or fill your own blender. Gauge it that way. You know.
Yes, but to what level is that full?
Well, if you stop the video and pause it, you could, recreate it in your own kitchen or something.
Yeah, just make sure you don't turn the blender on.
None. They're 9mm. Ha! Just kidding. See, that would be how to do that, Jake.
Now, if nobody guesses the exact number, are you going to go with the closest number? Or if you don't get it, you don't get it?
Should we just do a tactical quiz now? I just wanted to give the hint now. I know I had to go through the whole thing now.
Well, I was just curious how you were going to judge it.
So
We got
Smeggy's
plenty
here.
of show in between here and there.
We were just talking about how nothing of any significance happened yesterday, Smeggy.
Oh, really?
Other than his birthday.
Well, it was Michigan Day in regards to gun laws, but apparently there's nothing important going on in Michigan.
Same old as far as I know. Someone introduced an assault weapons ban, and that wasn't not going anywhere. And I think they introduced constitutional carry, and that's not going anywhere. So
is Michigan, in your opinion, pro 2A, negative 2A, or kind of like right in the middle?
I've always described them as right in the middle, although they have been trending pro-gun the past, 5 years or so. We had a Democrat governor for a while. We have a Republican governor now. So I don't know if that's necessarily a part of it, but it definitely wasn't getting better when we had the Democratic governor, but it wasn't getting any worse. Like, she wasn't going after our stuff, but
how long has pistol registration been a thing?
Pistol registration has been a thing since I was a kid. I don't know when it started, but I remember like my dad needing to go and get it done when he bought his pistol. In fact, we used to have purchase permit things where it was just for handguns, but you had to basically go and ask permission to be allowed to go buy a gun. And it was one of those, I don't even know if they actually did like their own background check thing, because I know some places you could walk in and walk out with the purchase permit right then and there. But then other places they had up to 3 days to give it to you or not, which it was county by county. Me being in Wayne County, which is what Detroit's in, they took their full 3 days, no matter what. But that has gone away now. So that's one of the ones that went away in 14.
So is
Nice.
Michigan a shell issue?
13. Yeah, Michigan's
hell
shell
yeah.
issue. We have all the NFA stuff that you could have. No magazine ban, no gun ban thing. We've always had open carry, at least as far as I know, and shell issue concealed carry. We actually have reciprocity with 40 different states, which is about the most you can get, because there's those 10 you're never going to get reciprocity with. And we accept all 50 states resident permits. So as long as you have a permit from your own state, you can carry. We don't recognize any non-resident permits, which is annoying for people who can't carry in their own state but get, what a Florida's or whatever.
Also, people in Vermont who don't get issued a CCW permit because they don't have such a thing. Therefore, they only have non-resident permits from other states. So if they go to a state like yours, draconian laws like yours, then they can't carry, even though in their own state they don't need anything to carry.
No, hold on. Let's not say that Michigan has draconian laws, all right? Because we definitely have examples of what those are. I don't necessarily feel that Michigan has draconian gun laws.
All right.
I would also like to throw out the possibility that depending on the state that one is in, that if you come from a permitless state, your state identification, whether it just be a straight identification card or an actual driver's license, is your concealed carry validation.
Well, you can make that argument, but I don't think I would try that.
Because, in that state, that's the only thing that they would ask for is your state ID. They wouldn't ask for your carry card.
Yes, but in constitutional carry states, you can still get a concealed carry permit. And you are echoing, dude.
In some other states, yes, for the purposes of getting out of state reciprocity.
Reciprocity, yes. Exactly.
So
that was pretty good.
Was that the topic for right now? Was the Michigan thing?
No,
or
we were just touching base with subject that we discussed yesterday.
Literally haven't even started the show.
Okay.
Yeah, have not started. We're just freewheeling it.
Playing in the background, Dano. Like our show is playing in the background.
I don't see how that's possible.
Oh, I think he's just echoing.
Maybe it's my bad microphone.
Well, so then we will start the show. It's episode 298. We're just 2 shows away from being on our 300th show. So that means today is CCW topic and various gun-related insurances, carry insurance, liability, property, etc. Where do we want to take it? I know we've talked about this before. And we've got an audience out there that's watching and listening. So anybody that has some specific questions or points that you'd like to bring up regarding insurances, let us know.
How good do you consider the NRA insurance to be?
It's when you remember the NRA, you get it, and then you should always enhance it and supplement it.
Well, and you also have to, what do you call it? You have to sign, you have to initiate it or whatever. It does, like you have it available to you, but you still have to like start it up.
Right. But it's
so if you don't,
I guess let's start from the basics. If you got home insurance or rentals insurance, it's only going to cover you for like a gun or two if you're lucky. It won't cover you for that kind of Echo Dano's got out there. But if you've got any number of guns, even just someone who shoots competitively and has something for defense and has a hunting rifle or two, you're probably already out of the realm of your rental insurance. At least I was. So then I had to supplement it with what do they call a rider for like extra money for a specific thing, like above and beyond the parameters of the insurance. So I would say your first thing is your home insurance or your rental insurance. Then your next thing is your riders or your supplements to that. And then I would call NRA insurance the next thing above that. So if you start actually inheriting some guns, collecting some guns over time, you invest in guns. And then here's the thing, you get a few 6 guns or something. So you're right at the top of your insurance area or whatever they call it for like the gun area. You're right where you're still covered by your insurance. Your stuff might not be. You start thinking about the bags you carry them in or the gear that you use when you're running with them or your optics or your ammo or your extra magazines. That stuff is going to have value, and that may or may not be also covered by your home insurance. It might also be required to be on that gun rider.
And then isn't there, so you said like homeowners insurance and or renters insurance, that's where you started it, and then you were adding riders from there. And then you had supplemental insurance through your NRA, correct? That's
pretty much all it does, is it supplements like theft. So like they know that a lot of people's home insurance,
it's only for
covers so much property. Like if you had 6 motorcycles, your home insurance is going to require some kind of additional coverage for those motorcycles. It might let you have a motorcycle in your general home coverage, but as soon as you get heavily involved in any one thing, even when I had a lot of computers, when I did computer work, I had to cover my computers on a separate rider.
As an example, my insurance covers up to $6,000 of contents of my home. If I want additional insurance, I have to get what G was referring to as a rider on specific items then.
I might not have the right word. I'm not an insurance agent.
Correct word. That just means additional insurance on specific items, whether it's jewelry, firearms, collectible car, whatever it happens to be.
Jewelry's a good one, right? A lot of people have to get that one. And you can just be minding your business and then inherit stuff that's worth, upgrading your insurance to cover. Which is another reason to get a good safe that's fire resistant, right? And burglar resistant.
Now, I think the first step after those basics that we talked about.
Yes, and sometimes that lowers your
NRA. Is anyone here familiar with some of the basic offerings? Because I'm not.
What?
No, it's like one plan from NRA. It's not like that's a.
No, they
understood. What does the basic cover?
They have regular and deluxe in the NRA. I think it's just, if I remember right, just the dollar amount of what they cover. So if you've got, homeowners insurance, like Dano says, they're only going to cover $6,000 worth of your home stuff, and you got TVs or something, computers that are going to take some of that $6,000. So you decide, I'm going to get a rider for my guns. I think the NRA is sort of like that. Like they'll cover so many guns at first, and then if you pay them a little bit more, they cover a larger collection of guns, 10,000 and 100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, let's be honest, because those numbers add up pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't know if anybody remembers,
joke.
but I'm going to mention that we talked about this a little bit earlier when we were talking about what we're doing for the week. This is the kind of thing where we can talk about it. We're really doing this as a venue for the discussion and not so much research, where we're bringing you a bunch of the results of our research. If you'd like that type of format of the show, I think we're all probably willing to do it. But when we look over at Patreon, there's only $73 a month coming in. Some of that goes to shipping. Some of it goes to hosting the podcast. I don't know how much you think that stuff costs, but there's mail going out every day for somebody winning the tactical quiz, and then a couple other ones going out for the quizzes on Wednesday. All of that costs something. So the Patreon money's just bringing that in. So if you'd like to see a lot more time and effort spent on some of these things, answers to some of these questions, that's definitely in the doable. But consider participating in Patreon or sharing that Patreon concept to others, sharing the show itself to others. But right now, definitely hobby level. So we're just going to go off the top of our heads.
Well, and gee, I know we were just talking about property.
We
don't have a small break.
Continue back. Never mind.
What do you got to say, Dano?
Say it.
No, bad timing at this point. Let's keep rolling.
I was going to continue on with the insurance.
Were you going to bring up how my parrot died? Yeah,
no.
It is pretty.
After NRA insurance, then we get into a number of different types of insurance that one can get. And I know some of us here have the same type of insurance. Some of us have other types of insurance. And I'll just name one of them, and that's the type that I've been using. And that's the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. And as a member of that, and it's $100 and some a year for annual membership. I don't remember the exact number, but some of the benefits are, as an example, deposit of up to $25,000 paid to my attorney by the network if I've been involved in a self-defense incident. In addition to that, the network will also pay bail bond agent up to $25,000 to post bail on my behalf as well. In addition to that, they will also help put me in touch with a expert witness in self-defense shooting. And there are some additional benefits beyond that. But also one kind of I'm going to relate this into, I was involved in a Mossad Ayub training, and kind of separate from insurance, as part of that class, I have the ability to bring Mossad Ayub into as an expert witness because I was a student of his in a self-defense shooting. So there's a number of different ways that you can insure yourself, whether it's through an organization where you pay so much a year, or whether it's kind of a side benefit in this case of a trainer that's out there that's willing to do, I'm going to call it service after the sale, so sort of a thing that Mossad Ayub avails himself to. So, and I think Z, don't you have a different organization that you deal with?
Second Call Defense. I think it's 10 or $15 a month. I haven't looked at the specifics in a while, so I'm not exactly sure what it ends up covering or not covering.
Yeah, I just pulled mine up on the internet just before we started the show, so I'm sure there's some other benefits. I just wanted to get the basics so I could toss them out there. But Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network is the one that I'm part of. And it also gives me a certain degree of peace of mind as far as if I'm unfortunate enough to be involved in a self-defense shooting, lucky enough to survive it, but I have a prosecutor who's bent on some sort of legal thing or whatever it may be, that I have assets at my disposal to help me, that I'm just not out there in the legal network naked to the world, so to speak, legally.
Because that would be embarrassing.
Yes. Well, I mean, part of the one training classroom, that I attended, one of the sections that we went over is what to expect after the police arrive. Suggested, different ways of interacting with police as well as investigators on things, as well as interacting with an attorney and getting in contact with, if you do have an insurance sort of thing, how to get in touch with them, as well as how to find a lawyer that specializes in this sort of thing, because this is a specialty you want. You're not looking for a general criminal lawyer. That's not the type of lawyer that you're looking for. And they do have lawyers that have gone through additional education to become qualified, to become recommended by the Legal Defense Network. So they have a list of very specific attorneys that they've gone through and vetted and through additional hoops to be on that list as recommended. Versus just, Joe the lawyer down, at the local, wherever your local downtown is, that happens to be the lawyer, but he does real estate on the side, and he, handles general problems.
And looking at the Second Call Defense, I think for the base, $10 a month or whatever, it's actual shooting protection of $10,000, criminal defense protection $10,000, immediate cash for bond $1,000, immediate attorney retainer $2,000, 24/7 emergency legal hotline, personal crisis manager, nationwide attorney network access, local attorney referral within 24 hours, emergency contact notification, and then like a newsletter and a self-defense news, and that's at the $10 a month level. The $20 is civil suit defense protection unlimited, civil suit damages protection $50,000, accidental shooting protection $50,000, criminal defense protection $50,000. So it definitely shoots quite a bit up for the extra $10.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with Second Call Defense. I like the way it works, where you get the money up front on that one. There are some of the other ones where, like, if you are in a thing and you do have to defend yourself, they pay you back after the fact or whatever, which is still nice, but you have to front the money to begin with.
And that's not what the Armed Citizens Legal Defense work is. That's up. They pay that up front.
Right. Okay. So that's good.
I mean, your bond is paid
I have heard
upfront,
of other ones, and I can't think of them by name, but there are other ones.
Up front. I mean, because you're absolutely right, Smeggy. I don't have $50,000 sitting in a bank account, ready to put down on deposits on everybody to be reimbursed later.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which is why I like the idea of what I call a proactive insurance.
So one of the other insurances that we were talking about, though, is liability insurance. Now, when you are a competition shooter, do you have to carry liability insurance?
I'm not sure what you mean. Why might they?
In case you shoot somebody on accident while you're competing.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. I know that some states were trying to push forward legislation on making liability insurance mandatory for gun owners. I know that wasn't all of the states, but I know that there were several that were trying to push some of that baloney.
Doesn't every competition pretty
I
much
believe my
make-
state was one of them that was trying to do that. What'd you say, Bob?
pretty much every competition waiver, basically, that, you know, if an accident happens, you're not going to sue anyone.
Yes, well, let's just say that sometimes those safety waivers don't hold up quite as staunchly in a court of law as one might think.
Well, that also doesn't mean that they're doomed to failure and going to fail from the start either. But you are correct. A waiver is no absolute document, but it's a probable document.
Well, where death is involved, sometimes the rules get changed as an end result of them.
G-Webs, I thought at least last time we talked that you had some experience with a kind of a after the fact insurance type organization. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
Is it like an AFLAC or something? But I mean, it's not AFLAC, but it's like, say, AFLAC for the gun world.
I have no idea what that is, but no, I just have Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network.
Okay, so you do have the same one as I have then.
Yep.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to say that and then be off. That's why I was asking. What do you find attractive about first of all having one in general, and then that one specifically?
That's the one that I consider is run by people who I know and are legitimate, and it seems like in the small event that I might need to ever utilize it, it's the most worthwhile of features or like services. The other ones have too many restrictions, and I don't have that kind of money to spend on multiple ones.
Right, that
Now,
is
question I
the
have-
problem, right?
The other ones I'll just pay you back if you're innocent, and I need to worry about if I'm in jail. I don't care what I end up being, innocent or guilty. I worry about getting the hell out of jail.
Right. And that's why I like the upfront, not later, and to get you someone who actually specializes in self-defense shootings.
Yep. And since
As well as,
I don't know,
in
potentially I'm
addition
not
to getting an expert witness there.
right, and now so I'm potentially not in Arizona or in Tucson even. If you get arrested, they don't just send you back to where you're comfortable. They arrest you wherever you are, and then how could you have pre what do they call it, prepaid legal everywhere, right? How can you? Some of those things have big gaps of coverage. They all do, really, but some of them are like the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network is a network. It's not just a bunch of people who are affiliated. So if something happens, they don't really have boundaries because it's a network of people who are going to act and come to your need and to your location if necessary. It's not like, oh, you fall in a dead zone in the map. We don't have any attorneys there.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, if you're in the middle of God knows nowhere in some, backwater sheriff's jail, they will fly an attorney to you if that's what needs to happen.
Or at least they're there to be aware and hands-on and to be part of that call. So,
right.
And I'd just rather have somebody like that who's my phone call than a faceless organization that's basically something that's difficult to insure. So they're not insurance. They just use that word because I guess it's legal and it's easier to keep track of. But it's basically just a shared pile of money, right? So you're not necessarily dealing with the individuals who represent it. It's a packaged service from a larger company that insures all kinds of weird things. And that's who you're really dealing with. One of those, I don't know what the term is for the people that are really offering the money, but you're dealing with people who package it to be gun insurance or 60W insurance, where this other one is just a whole different dynamic. And the people you talk to are the expert witnesses. It's Marty Hayes and the rest. And Marty Hayes is somebody you could go meet potentially at like the NRA show this weekend.
Which would be awesome.
Well, I just mean, there's actually a person who is that entity is a person, is a regular person. They show up in your court. It's not like you're dealing with a faceless bureaucracy or whatever you call a company that's faceless. Just a name in a corporation, whoever happens to be working there that week. All right, well, is that dead
All
air?
right, is there... Well, I'm just thinking, what else we got? Dude, is there any other type of insurances that we're talking about? Like we talked about liability for a second. We just kind of poo-pooed that for a moment to go back to the concealed carry insurance. But truly, there was more than 2 states that were trying to put forth legislation that would require gun owners to carry liability insurance on themselves.
I got a whole new type of insurance we can talk about.
Excuse me?
I think I got a whole nother type of insurance we could talk about potentially.
What's that?
The insurance for the purchase. So purchase insurance. Let's say
like to maintain the value, or
no, just if you regret a decision. So let's say you're out shopping and you buy something because it looks good, or you're caliber duped and you're talked into buying the sucker caliber gun or something. Then there should be some kind of buyer's insurance, like buyer's remorse insurance, where you can then...
Maybe in a socialist utopia, man, but nah.
Been watching
or are you saying this is a real thing? You really putting this forward that this is you could have it at buyer's remorse, you're saying, but that's also like saying I don't know my own mind, or I'm not confident in my decision-making process, or I didn't ask the wife, so now she's going to want a divorce.
But what if you
can't be responsible in making... If you can't be responsible enough in making this serious decision, maybe you shouldn't carry at all.
Well, we didn't say carry. We were only talking about purchase now. We didn't say anything about carry.
In order to carry, you have to purchase. I mean, unless you inherited it.
Yes, but see, I own guns, but I don't have the opportunity to carry them.
I'm going to suggest that if, let's say, you made a purchase decision based on feelings, maybe you shouldn't be responsible for that. Maybe there should be something for you to fall back on.
I think that you should have to take responsibility for your decisions, and if that affects how you feel about it, well, then maybe that'll help you through life, and maybe not necessarily just judging everything by how it makes you feel.
Yeah, see, to me, that's really ultimately asking a lot. People to be responsible for a lot.
I'm just asking that whoever the person is to be responsible for themselves. The same thing that they should be asking of me.
Are you currently at the Starbucks in Berkeley?
No, but I've been watching a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to come up with a business, and I'm thinking if people could be involved in this gun buyback situation, they can literally buy it back. See, we're not police or nothing, so it's not like we're using the term in a negative way, but this way they could like pass along, kind of like pass the trash. You go, oh, what did I get? And then you get a box in the mail, you put that gun in the box, and another box shows up with a gun in it. So it's like, oh, I don't like this one after all. Then put it in a box, another gun shows up.
The company is going to want to do business with you.
I'll figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Hey, if you can get people to pay you for that, I say go right on ahead. I just think you're going to be paying out a lot So the insurance premiums from your membership is going to have to be pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to try on guns the way they try on shoes. Well, I'll take this one. Well, I'll try the other one. Well, I'll try the other one. I'll try the other one.
This gun makes my ass look fat. I don't want this one.
I don't like the color. I want the tan.
Exactly. Like, oh, I should have got the tan color. So you put it in a box, and then gun flicks. There you go, or gun flip with an X. Flip with a Y and an X. So we'll make
nice. So PH.
No, we'll put a Y in there so that Night Strike will have to code it all. I'll do the back end.
With Y.
All right. Well, so I'm also distracted because I have to do a thing. I got a phone call here, and I have to act on a thing. But I'm really close to being done with it. I thought I was done with it. No, I'm not. I have to go somewhere else. All right. So
we could always go on to the next segment of the show.
I think we ought to, since we're already like an hour in and we're barely into the first segment of the show. So we're about to go into the second
segment. It's that mandatory insurance that Obamacare made us think about. That's the shitty part.
Hold on, Danny, just for a second. Think about how scary that would be if they flip this switch and say mandatory CCW insurance.
Well, I swear that was one of the original things in the actual Obamacare was something more about guns than what it ended up being.
They got precedent with cars. So I think that's something dangerous that we should be, again, pushing the lines the other way so they don't get a chance to hear this podcast and think of that or get the idea in their nutty's head someplace else. Because that's, like I say, there's already precedent with cars. I could see them thinking, oh, that is a good idea.
Yeah, I can definitely see them trying. So I definitely agree with you, trying to push the line the other way.
We had a policy that there could be a pop quiz at any possible time.
Yeah, but not during Nuggets of Wisdom.
Yeah, if it was on and nothing like fluff, but that was something I think was worth saying. So. Plus, it was just Smeggy's birthday, Dano. Come on.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing.
What's a reason to rejoice?
Well, anytime is pop quiz. And that's why it's time for the tactical pop quiz right now. So, those of you on YouTube and those of you over on gun channels, get your cursors down in the text box, limber up your fingers. Wants to be my assistant for today. Z, you haven't been around, or you and I have not been around necessarily together at the same time for a while. You want to be my assistant?
I am watching currently. And I just want everybody to know, Pants, you're wrong. Lappin, you're wrong. Callanan, you're wrong. Rock Component, you're wrong. Mel, you're wrong. And Rex, you're wrong. And Killing Time, you're also wrong. Just so you know.
Okay. Today's question was sent in by Clay, so I want to thank Clay for sending in this question and answer. You done, Bob?
Are you okay, Bob?
It's sequin dress stuff.
Okay,
All I heard was sequin dress. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah, I'm fine.
There are 4 parts to the question. You must put all 4 parts on the same line. So I will read the question twice. Z, have you seen the answer?
I have.
Okay. And again, this question was sent in by Clay. So here we go. I want you to list the 4 safeties on a Series 80 government model. List the 4 safeties on a Series 80 government model.
1911. Nice. Artisan Tony, I respect your decision. But Tony, you probably know the answer, though.
Yeah, I saw
Moon,
that
thanks for trying.
Tony's going to NRA. I'll see you there,
Should
buddy.
be pretty cool.
Unless he's avoiding me.
Oh.
I like Mike's answer.
That is incorrect, unfortunately.
I like that.
But I do like it.
Grip holster. I like that.
Let's see. Robbie has
an interesting one, which is probably accurate.
Mr. Moons.
That sounds scary.
I am going. These are so far not the one looking for. A lot of these are close.
I think they've all been said, just not all put together, right?
There's one that has not been said. And by the way, Night Strike, that's
apparently
3.
can't
That's
count
not
as
4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's missing the one we're looking for. Any questions? Send them to Clay.
Well, then, Night Strike, no offense, you failed. If that's all you could come up with. Not miserably, though. You did pretty good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people think it has a mag safety.
Now, the one that people are missing are one that a lot of people don't think of when they think of safeties a lot of times.
Which ones are they saying?
I think Rock Humper is right.
I would go with that.
Would you look at it, Dan? I'll look at the YouTube side for a second.
Okay.
I would give it to Rock Humper for what he put.
Artisan Tony, the failure rate. Good
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think the one of them is because it ain't the thing. There's no of them on the gun. So when are you going to start saying which ones are right?
I think now would be a good
Well,
idea.
So you're looking for 4. You've had a whole
did we-
people answer like 3 of them, right? So enough people have answered grip safety that everybody knows that one, right?
Right.
Yep.
So what's
Well, if
another?
Rock Humper didn't win, then I think Arctic wins.
No. What do you
Isn't
guys
that one?
think that is that? What part of any of those? So we know we got a grip safety.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We know that there's an external thumb safety. So everybody's got that one. And then what's the other one that everybody's got so far, or that has already been said?
The firing pin.
Okay, so now there's a firing pin. So those other 2 words that you guys are saying are the same or not the same.
Oh, you're right. No, I was wrong. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay. So that's 3 of them. We're looking for the 4th one now. At this
All right, I'm going to throw down a tip. And the tip is as follows. Thor and his mighty...
Oh, Jesus.
John Henry?
I'm going to
John
tell
Henry.
the answer is what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now it's a who can type faster.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
Anchor already get it? No.
Oh, well, what about Cycle Camp? In the same...
Did somebody actually do this one, or did Dano just make this one up?
No, this was submitted by...
Right. Then it's
Clay?
legitimate. Then it's legitimate.
So I believe it was Angry. When he says thumb, he means manual safety.
Yes.
So it looks like Angry is our winner for today.
But Sean said hammer
Or is
block,
okay.
grip, firing pin block,
Grip,
thumb,
firing
hammer
pin,
block.
block, thumb, hammer block. Okay,
That's
yeah.
it.
And that was just ahead.
Uh,
So
this is confusing.
we agree that it seems like it's...
I'm lost.
Who's got the head safety? All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and declare Mr. Ponery is today's Tactical Pause winner. And the answers we were looking for were firing pin, thumb safety, the hammer, and the grip safety. Those are the 4 that we were looking for. So congratulations, Mr. Ponery. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner. You know what to do, but head on over to dailygunshow.com/popquiz. Fill out the form, put your first and second request, and congratulations on today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner.
Way to go back to the winner circle, Ponery. Good job, buddy. Way to make it over hump day. That makes you the Tactical Pop Quiz hot shot for today.
I think Chris could have been right if he would have said it first, but safety suck would have also been an appropriate answer.
He would have had to say that 4 times.
Yeah, I like ours and Tony's answer. Or no, not ours and Tony, I'm sorry. Mike on YouTube's answer with the finger magazine, or what do they say?
Head.
Holster, finger, something. Those are all good safeties. Yeah, finger, head, grip, holster. Well, I don't
So,
have grip safeties, though.
G-Webs, before we did this tactical quiz, you were talking about what that you felt was important to put in at the end? Because I missed it.
It was important, and it was already put in at the end.
Okay, well, I missed it. I'm asking, could you tell me what it was?
Yeah, it was the thing that you interrupted with the tactical pop quiz intro music.
That could happen at any time during any show?
Yeah. So I think I was talking about, I think I was saying something about how if they have all these insurances for CCW that we have to be, what was I saying? That we have to be aware that they may try to cram that down our throats as required in order to carry or something.
Yep. Because like you said, because you were likening it to how they do with auto insurance, or now also health insurance. So we already know that they will mandate it at some point if we let them. I shouldn't say if we let them, if we don't stop them. I'd like to put it in the other framing.
I guess I was saying that the more we push the other direction, the less time they have to regroup and figure out that that's another angle they could attack our rights with. Now, Artisan Tony said that it was too tough for him, that Dan was trying to stump everyone. And yeah, that's exactly the point of the quiz. So if it's too tough, Bob's got something to tell you. I think he was around.
And Bob's asleep.
He has one job.
It's a nap.
One job.
Nat Chapter Award.
Quote in there and then you want to sleep. So that
Sorry.
was for
Too tough for you. Then it's time, Buttercup.
There we go. So thanks, Bob. You can go back to sleep. So that'll take us to the entertainment segment of the show. Yes, the second segment of the show. We now do 1 hour segments. So before we head over to the top 10 vehicles, which may or may not be interesting, we're going to feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Every day we'd like to take a moment between the first and second segment of the show and feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a place we built a while back, a community focused on firearms, completely run by its membership, and we do appreciate that. You have no idea. It's not exactly free. It's pretty much run by the membership, but it's close enough that it's worth supplementing. And it creates an environment where we don't have to be beholden to any corporate sponsors, being anything as small as a gun shop or anything as large as a major manufacturer. We don't have to have a couple of little guys on board that are paying all the bills that we have to constantly, tell them how great they are or be afraid to talk about their stuff. It makes it an open environment. It's pretty fun and organic, and all that's directly the result of it being run by its membership. So I do appreciate that. It's one of the reasons it's one of the reasons we do this show on a daily basis, so that we can have an opportunity to talk about the members over there like this every single day. So we try to feature one of the members, people that make Gun Channels possible, make it the place that it is. And today it's Pants, or ThePants, as his actual username is. We mention a user one of the members over there like this, and we put their user profile, a link to their user profile, on the description of the video. So whenever we talk about these people and you think, oh, that might be interesting, or you decide, hey, I'm going to go like the people that we talk about each day on the Daily Gun Show, then head over to our YouTube channel, click on the link there. Click over to our website where we also have the show notes. You can click on the link there. It'll take you to the Gun Channel's user profile page for the members that we talk about each day. Pants is pretty, he contributes a lot. He's pretty active, I guess what I was going to say. In the text chats, he comes into the live chats occasionally as well. And he's also active on the news feeds. And all of those are different areas of Gun Channels. And it's great to have people who enjoy them and participate on them. It gives people who read or watch or listen to the place more stuff to watch or read or listen to. So thanks for making it the place, or helping to make it the place that it is.
And I think Pants was one of the guys that.
Go ahead, Z.
I think we were about to say the same thing. Pants is one of the guys.
You guys all have a chance
Never
to
mind.
talk about pants. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
So what I was gonna say, oh man, he wasn't even talking. I was gonna do his joke. Anyway, okay, he's been quiet now apparently. So what I was gonna say is he was one from the YouTube side that was listening, and I forget what exactly inspired him to come over to gun channels. But now that he came over, I see him over there all the time. So that's pretty cool. If
Everybody
that's what.
had a chance to say their thing about pants?
I did.
You had a chance to talk about pants?
I didn't. I just want to say it was nice when he came over because he's an interesting guy. So I think he definitely added to the group for sure.
He's relatively speaking, new over on the gun channel side and very active in the chat. I've not been in a live chat like this with him in it, but I guess I've heard he has been in a couple. And it's nice to have him around.
He's come over to the light side.
All right, so that'll take us into the entertainment segment of the show. Every week we do the entertainment segment on Wednesdays, and today it's the top 10 vehicles. So I don't know if this has anything to do with movies or books or anything. I think we're just going to do top 10 vehicles, right? I figured, I doubt any of the hosts had time or inclination to come up with a list. I know Smeggy hates lists. Dan O probably didn't remember. Bob doesn't do nothing because he's too busy. And I'm apathetic at this point about it. So I'm thinking we'll steal Matt's idea, but we'll flip it around and make it a responsibility of the audience. So we'll still make Smeggy keep track on this spreadsheet because of the established Matt principle. But I think
that's why he stopped going, right?
Exactly, and he's captive here. He can't leave because it's the day after his birthday.
Too much overtime and not enough pay.
And I've got you captive because we're having a planning session. So we get together every once in a while, and tonight after the show, we're all getting together to chat about the direction of the show. So
I need to take a moment just to take care of some administrative business. If you happen to be listening to us over on the YouTube side, if you could please take a moment and subscribe to Daily Gun Show. It would be greatly appreciated. It would help us a lot in trying to make the show be able to do some things that we're currently not able to do. So please take a moment and subscribe to Daily Gun Show on YouTube.
Or if you're one of the mooches that listens to us on iTunes and doesn't pay for it, then get your ass over to YouTube, log in, and subscribe to the channel. Because otherwise we won't be here for you to mooch off of our iTunes.
Well, there you go.
So we're going to go with top 10 vehicles. So we're going to use this interactivity of the internets here and allow our audience to give us some ideas. So I saw some earlier when we mentioned at the beginning of the show. So I'll throw some of those in there. But keep in mind, the more options you throw out here, the more work Smeggy has to do. So just keeping that in mind.
With no category or direction, I almost don't even know what to suggest myself.
Well, the Blues Brothers cop car. Yeah, it's one of my iconic vehicles.
Buckaroo Banzai's rocket truck.
Ghostbusters vehicle.
Kit from Knight Rider.
Enterprise.
Mad Max's
Millennium Falcon.
Like Enterprise Rentals or Enterprise what?
What?
The fucking USS Enterprise, fool.
Is a vehicle?
It's a vehicle!
Z is so enamored by the rental policies of Enterprise. Any vehicle.
The A-Team van.
There you go.
It's transportation, I'll give you that.
It's a vehicle, dude.
We got Ripsaw EV2. I don't know what that is.
That's like, did you see the G.I. Joe? The second one? The second G.I. Joe movie?
Not with enough attention to remember stuff like that.
No, it's a mini tank. It's absolutely amazing.
Is that the one that they drop out?
It's not even like it's a tank. It's got the rubber track and it goes really fast.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's got
a lot of the airplane with, and they use the cannon to keep it up in the air.
No.
Okay.
That's totally different, right?
Well, they did.
What was that car in Gone in 60 Seconds that he had to steal Martha or something. What the heck was that name?
Betsy.
Lucille.
Lucille, yeah.
What was the car that John Wick drove that got stolen?
Just some car, wasn't it?
It was a 60s muscle car.
Oh, that was a nice car. But here we go. We got like out in the chats. We got Batmobile. We got Frankenstein's car in Death Race 2000. We got the General Lee. We got Christine, and it was Eleanor. It was not the other two names that you guys said for Gone in 60 Seconds. The Light Cycle from Tron. Excellent choice. And then we're all caught up.
Yeah, because I can type that fast. Screw you.
I hope Smeggy has all those in there because otherwise the statistics are just going to be all afoul.
Oh, well, I was just reading shit
I
off
got
the
General
chat.
Lee and Light Cycle out of that.
Okay, Christine.
Bullet.
Well, I think the only thing we've got 2 of is Mad Max. Everybody else. Now 3.
Because the Mad Max Interceptor is awesome.
Are we talking the actual Mad Max car, or are we talking the Road Warrior car, or are they in fact the same car?
They are in fact the same car. He did modifications from the Interceptor to be the Road Warrior car, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with post modifications when he added the thing on the gas tank and all that. Like that's
and painted it.
Didn't he have a shotgun?
So it wasn't all white and yellow.
He had a shotgun underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely the one I'm going for.
Yeah, because he could either switch, like when he reached under, he could either grab that. He was about to grab it, and then he like shut off the booby trap for the gas tank.
Yeah. Somebody did say the Bandit car is in Smoking the Bandit, I believe, which is going to be that Trans Am. Oh, nice. Who typed that? I think Angry. Yeah, Angry's my boy out there. The truck from Tango and Cash, the SUV with the
much windshield. It
What?
was like a car from Ford or something. It has way too much windshield. It was like a giant minivan.
But it was bulletproof, and it had a what do you call it? Machine guns and shit.
Well,
awesome.
then what about the one from one of the superhero movies where the guy from Snakes on a Plane is in there and he gets stopped by a bunch of fake cops, and he's got a Gatling gun in there and it's all bulletproof and it drives on its own. I don't know what they call them. I think they're shield cars, just shield vehicles.
Yeah. How about the DB7?
So that would have probably been the second one.
How about James Bond's DB7?
Because there was a DB5.
No, he had a DB7 in the late
It's a DB5.
second last. No, it was a DB7 in the.
It's DB5, unless you're talking about a different one.
James Bond. That was the original James Bond, the Aston Martin, but the one he had in the first movie with the new James Bond. What one was that?
Casino Royale?
Yeah, where he rolled it. That was a DB7.
Isn't that just one of the ones from an old real James Bond, though?
No. That was the second movie. They had the original DB5.
Right.
The DB7 is the modern one.
If Europe wanted their cars to be identifiable, they wouldn't make them look all the same.
Well, they don't look the same. The DB7 looks quite different than the DB5. Although, they're both fantastic.
I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's the one that he rolled like umpteen dozen times because they had his chick tied up on the right? That's
What
DB7.
is the name of what's the name of the car from Animal House? Because it's Flounder's brother's car that they steal.
The 65 Cadillac.
It was a Mount Prospect.
No, but what was the name of it, dude?
I don't know. It's a Lincoln.
That was.
It clearly stated it was a Mount Prospect police car.
It was Blues Brothers.
And I said Animal House. It was Flounder's older brother car, and D-Day was the one that piloted it, but it had a name, and I can't remember what the name was on it. It was like the Death Machine or something.
I'm pretty sure it was a 65 Lincoln, though.
The 1966 Lincoln Continental Deathmobile.
Deathmobile, thank you.
Now I remember. They brought it in their parade or whatever. They Mad Maxed it out a little bit.
Remain calm.
Looks like it sold for $20,000, FYI, in 2010.
And we did already say the Blues Brother mobile, right? We did mention that.
That was my first one.
What about
Yeah.
the 71 CUDA from Vanishing Point?
What?
Huh?
You never saw Vanishing Point?
We're talking about cars from movies, or you just,
It was a 71 CUDA from had this guy who had to transport it across country, and he was just taking speed and going 120 miles an hour all the way across the country. You ever saw that? And then the cops, finally at the end, the cops put 2 bulldozers on the road, and he just ran into it at like 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that's not
Sean's
a famous
saying that-
entertainment top vehicle.
Sean's saying that was a Challenger, and then he said facepalm.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, Challenger, CUDA, they're almost the same.
The Challenger and the CUDA were twins of each other off the Chrysler product line.
Yeah,
One was Plymouth, one was Dodge.
yeah. Well, the Challenger, I think, was a little bit
Thing.
fancy, but
It's a different
We
thing. I
do
mean,
have
that's like
another
saying a Lincoln Navigator is, the same as a, which one is that? The Explorer Expedition or whatever. Expedition. It's not. I mean, they have different names. Same frame or whatever, but
Right.
everybody knows that they're painted with 16 degrees different differential pressure.
as a matter of fact, they do
We
have
do have
they do have different paint. Trust me, because the freaking Lincoln paints are a pain in the ass half the time because they have way too much metal
Nice.
flake, and you have to, and the production runs lower. God, don't get me started.
Come on, you
getting
need a negative
clearly somebody that knows what he's talking about. We do have another vote for Ecto 1, though. We have Mel Smith over on the YouTube side voting for Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters. That's the second vote for that one.
I think it is. I don't know if I'm going to cut it off. I think I'm going to cut it off because Road Warrior's winning, right? Also,
Well, Road Warrior had as many as Ecto 1, as far as I know.
I got Road Warrior having 4.
Oh,
Just
okay.
how about
people's comments, and I'm trying to guess the panels. Like either you guys go like, "Oh, good idea" or whatever, or not, and then I'm counting that.
so Chris has a motorcycle in there. Bob doesn't care about motorcycles, I guess. He's had the Easy Riders Captain America chopper.
oh yeah. Well, I didn't see
I like
that
that
one.
one.
I would vote for that one. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta add that one.
Well, I like to
Well, in
ride.
that case, I want to vote for Chuck Norris's Delta Force motorcycle then.
It was a little Japanese dirt bike.
It had machine guns, rockets, and mortars, so kiss my ass, Bob.
Well, then why don't we go for the flying motorcycles that they had on Battlestar Galactica?
I'd take one of those. I wouldn't say no.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
the
like-
Red October. I vote for the Red October.
Oh, the nuclear submarine. That's a
Right?
Nice.
Segment, since that's a good transition into the pop.
So we can do the tactical quiz at any time, but the pop quiz has got to fit just right.
Well, no. Bob happened to say, or Z happened to say that thing, so that was a good transition.
I was trying.
And it was just Bob talking, so it's not like anything important was being said.
Got a point there.
oh shit on you guys.
We also got one last vote in for Mark Hamill's Corvette from Corvette Summer. It's always good to have a Corvette.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's a cool car and all, but that was the most hideous hood scoop anybody could ever make for a car. I'm sorry.
That was the ugliest piece of junk.
The back, though, was pretty 70s orange. It was pretty good. And then the chicks had a van in it that was pretty rocking.
Well, that's because she was a hooker and she had to work.
Yeah, well,
Hooker's got a hook.
all right. So that makes it time for the daily quiz, or the tactical quiz. So every Wednesday we do a tactical quiz. And it's so popular that we had to branch it off into a daily pop quiz as well. So we today are going to do...
You don't want to know the list?
What?
You don't want to know the list? I did all that typing and no one cares?
The list? No, that was just...
Actually, I would like to know the list, Megs, please.
Mad Max, Blues Brothers, Eleanor, Red October, because you guys said, oh, cool. Ghostbusters, Captain America's Chopper, and then a bunch of people that got like 1 votes. There you go. That's the list. All right.
I don't know if
Thank
anybody's cool about Red October as much as the tactical quiz was happening. I think you're stealing the cools from that.
It has enough radiant heat. It'll be all right.
I think a nuclear submarine is a pretty cool vehicle.
All right, tactical quiz. Sorry.
Is that the one that caught on that was leaking and it was literally overheating?
No.
Oh, that was the K-21 or K-12 or K-2 or whatever the fuck the K-1 was.
Where they have the tag team going in there with the like gas mask suits and then
with their rain suits instead of their radiation suits or what the fuck ever, yeah?
Yeah, that one.
They're Russians.
Yeah, the Red October,
K-19,
they lied about a problem so that they could get the crew off, so that the crew wouldn't know that it was getting kidnapped or whatever.
Oh, that's right. They were giving the sub to us.
Yeah. It was
And
defecting.
K-19 was the Widowmaker, that is true.
All right, so today we're going to do a two-part quiz, both audio and visual. So two types of tactical quiz. So the way I think we're going to do it is, you guys have some firearms available, handy?
I do.
Couple minutes.
Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of firearms. This is going to be an audio tactical quiz where you're going to listen to the actions and the cycling or the manipulation of the guns, and the first to identify it will win. We'll do that for a few heats or whatever. We'll do that for a few times till we get a couple of different winners, and then we'll go back to that blender full of 40 Smith & Wesson, and whoever gets qualified to guess will take the guesses, and whoever gets closest without going over will win the actual tactical quiz. So it'll be a two-parter. First part is audio.
Excellent.
And hopefully we can still get Smeggy, we can sweet talk Smeggy into using that spreadsheet skills.
Well, if we quit shitting on him, he might be inclined to help us out, but we got to quit shitting on him.
I think he's
sounded like
more
typing
responsible.
his 4 fingers to the bone.
Okay.
Let me open up a spreadsheet.
So
I already
basically,
closed it.
G, what you're saying is, to be a qualifier, it'll be the guessing of the sound. And then once you have qualified, it will entitle, yes, I'm using the word entitle here, entitle you to a guess at how many marbles in the jar, how many 40s in the blender, correct?
That's right. Yep. In order
Excellent.
to become eligible, you'll have to pass the first qualifying events.
So if you guess correctly, like if someone gets the number right on, are you going to attach the blender and turn it on?
No, there's 40s in there, so that would be catastrophic.
If there were 9s in there, though, would you?
No, because I'm not a channel that exploits firearms for views. So
Okay.
Nice.
I needed a vessel
Wait
that was difficult to measure. I just needed a vessel that would be difficult to estimate and could be seen, transparent. And I had handy, so that's the blender I used to chop up milk jugs.
Did you drop? the
Now,
link
I got a
to your
question before we
Instagram?
go any further. As far as the guessing of the sounds,
Mhm.
Now stop that.
Somebody
Do they have to guess? Yeah, that was Dano. Do they actually have to guess the actual gun, or can they just guess caliber or type of firearm that it happens to be? What is
No, it's
what
gotta
is
be
the
the gun.
level of accuracy?
It's got to be
Okay.
like Glock 19 or
Okay.
whatever.
Or at least
Okay.
Glock. I mean, knowing the caliber is going to be tough. So knowing a Glock versus an AK, knowing an AK versus a bolt action, knowing a shotgun versus a revolver, something like that. Because it's difficult. There's no real way for you people to just know it without having.
So just the general what it is then, really, right?
Yeah. And
Okay.
it'll be up to whoever one of us is doing it to decide when someone's close enough, so that we don't spend 16 years doing it either, right?
All right, fair enough.
All right.
That's
So
all, I
who
just wanted to clear up that before we started. That's all.
Okay.
whoever wants to go first can just go ahead and go first. Then.
I have one. I put the answer in the side chat so you can all see it. Everybody
Okay.
see it?
Yeah.
All right. Do it one more time.
Well, I think we have a winner, but I think they cheated.
Cheated because Dan only has one gun.
Who's the winner?
And he's only been talking about it for 3 weeks, and Clay guessed it before he even did it.
Yep. So that counts.
Does that count?
Yeah. It's possible for Clay to be in such sync with Dano that he just.
Now,
maybe,
I do have 3 guns right here, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Well, that's
Good for you.
but Clay won that one. So Clay, you qualified, Clay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Me next.
So who wants to go? Okay, Bob's going. I think he's saying him next.
Now, I got more if you want me to come. If you need somebody, just let you know.
We'll come around. We'll do a bunch. It should be pretty obvious. Think of things like how long the action's taken, what kind of dwell there is, who the person is that's doing it. They're saying high power, Bob?
Nope.
ZZ?
I believe that is incorrect.
I thought it was
1911 is incorrect, I believe.
that Bob doesn't have 1911. Striker fired auto pistol.
Nope. It's in. Yeah. Just so you guys know, it's in the.
I think the pants is the closest.
Mossberg 500 is close, but not.
No.
VZ58 is not an SKS, not the VZ58. Bob doesn't have an AK.
Wait a minute. He put the answer in the side chat, right?
Bob did, yeah. There, we're getting closer. But we now
Okay.
have Remington 870, which it is not. Bob lives in Canada.
But I do
And
own one.
I think.
Man, I thought this is exactly what we just addressed, dude.
Yeah,
But
I kind of
whatever.
agree with what Z's going on. I think.
Well, it's not a pump, though. So they can keep.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's just say the movie Outland might help these people if they were aware. Now we have the answer. Boom. Native gun. Boom. It was a Remington 11 semi-auto shotgun.
I was gonna say
there we
Pink
go.
said it at the same time, but Native Gun actually put the Remington in front of it.
Yeah, because Pink was
Sorry,
just
Pink.
Native
like
gun?
11 o'clock. Like it's you guys are taking too long for your show or something. We don't know if he means time or what. Okay, so who wants to go next? Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
I'm still taking guns out of cases, so
That's Z doing it.
I'm thinking rifle.
I'm thinking that sounds like a long action. They're saying Tanker Grand.
Incorrect.
AK.
But two hotties, quick. Two hottie.
That was a
Oh,
little.
but Pink Panther said it exactly, but two hottie had it first.
Oh shit! Are you sure?
Oh, Pig's gonna be steaming.
And it was the AK.
523 for two hottie. 523, and it was 524 for Pink. I think hottie did have it first.
Yep.
So that makes it
Like
two.
barely a second. And I mean, Pink actually had the actual make and model, though. I mean, but Two Hottie did technically have it first. Or I'm inclined to give them both a guess at the jar of 40.
Well, it's your gun, so I guess now we got to make Samegi do a little bit extra work there.
Sorry, Smags.
A big sigh.
Scotty, Two Hottie, and Pink Panther, please.
all
Who's
right,
next?
10-4.
Or Smeggy.
Frankie, you got one?
Yeah, I got one. And I am going to require the maker of this. Not necessarily the model exactly, but you need to tell me the manufacturer of this. Because I'm a bastard.
Nice.
Is that a revolver? Sounds like a revolver.
CZ75?
Oh, it's gotta be it. No, I know what it is.
We got CZ.
Angry guessed a CZ.
Yeah,
Pink
but-
guessed CZ75.
Oh, I should have put the answer in the side chat for you guys. I was busy doing stuff.
Come on.
That's all. Just because we share doesn't mean you have to share.
I was in the middle of doing something, like I said.
Glock. Maverick
Right.
80. Smith & Wesson. Wasser.
Z didn't share either, so.
Remington 570.
True, Bob.
Yeah, easy though.
EZ75 PO1. Nobody's correct. 870. Incorrect.
Ours and Tony's close.
Looks like native
Gotta
gun.
do it.
Close.
Nice job, Smeggy, by the way.
Partisan Tony and
Good pick.
native
Native
are closest.
are the closest.
17 HMR Henry. Nope.
All right.
We got Arctic with Marlin.
Yep. Getting close.
He could be a little more specific.
Does Marlin make anything but a lever?
Arctic
though?
could be. Oh, yeah. Tardis and Tony technically then.
Yeah,
All right.
Arts and Tony Marlin lever.
Yep.
All right, that'll be mine then.
Other
Yep.
guns.
I can't. There's no action, so.
Yeah. Don't put the answer in the side. That's okay.
Oh, come on. I only have the gun I haven't sold.
Oh.
Can you do it again, please?
It's not an NAA short. It's not a Derringer. It's not a Glock. Come on. How does that sound like a Glock? It's not an NAA. I don't own a Marlin 3030. I don't own Marlins.
It's a weird slide.
Oops, I stole my buddy's gun.
It's not an action. I don't have an action on it, so.
He's got no action. He's got no game.
Sandy says it's a revolver.
I don't own a 686. It may or may not be a revolver, but it has no. This would be the action, I guess. Come on, how hard is it? How many revolvers do I even own? So Pink Panther has it. He might have shot it, the LCR. So that's
That mean
another-
Pink gets two
Nice.
guesses?
I think so. He can re-guess.
Yes, it does.
You can say one high, say one low, and see. That's a good idea.
I don't know how many. There's no way to know how many people we have already picked. But why don't we go through? I don't have another gun right here, so why don't we go through Dano, Bob, Z, and Smeggy again? If you guys all have another gun, and then we'll go from there on to the second round.
Sounds good.
Yep.
So Dano,
Yep. I'll go first.
you guys have to put a $500 in the super chat if one of us desk pops.
Yep.
Just to pay for damages and construction costs.
So what was that?
Could you do it less often and quieter?
Maybe not in the microphone.
No, something with a suppressor. They're saying Glock 43. Glock 43 again. M and P. This is Dano. Dano is doing this one, Tony.
Yep.
Browning high power. And Dano's doing this one. You go Torkroff. No. Glock. Well, AK. Not it. Oh, we got Glock 26 over there. Ding, ding, ding.
Pink.
Pink
Yeah,
gets-
I was gonna say pants. See, giving it to pants, right?
Yeah, Pink just said 26. He could be guessing how many bullets are in the thing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. I'm saying
So I'd give it
26
to the pants because
So, yeah.
he did say,
Pants are member of the day, right?
Yep.
Pants.
"Good job."
That'll take us to Bob.
Yep. All right.
Sounds smaller. Sounds like a smaller action. They're saying high power. I've been inside.
Oh, big surprise. Yep.
It was the high power.
Yep.
So that's Angry. Angry got that one. Is that multiple guys?
American.
That's Angry's first.
Oh shit. So that'll take us to Z, I guess.
Yes, it will. As soon as I make sure that it is unloaded. All right, here we go.
Sounds like something in single action mode.
Or
Tanker Grand.
Tanker Grand is incorrect. Excellent choice, though.
Flintlock 686.
I think not going through. Huh.
Revolver.
686 is incorrect.
NAA. TRI.
Incorrect. Oh, but some guy in Sandy is my hero out there. Good job, Sandy.
Great.
Excellent job.
Great.
Yes, that is the Smith & Wesson TRR8. Thanks for playing, bro. Good to see you.
The Smith
Yay.
& Wesson. What was the model number?
TRR.
TRR8.
It has a distinctive sound because every time you click it back like that, you can hear Smith & Wesson's cash register ding.
Going ring, ring, ring. I should have shot it 8 times. That would have gave the clue right there.
Oh shit, that would have been a subtle clue for the revolver, people. Smeggy wouldn't have got that clue.
No, I don't like revolvers. Apparently.
But that'll take us to Smeggy. And we just seen that Smeggy had, like 26 guns on the table? We don't have any clue what gun he might have right now.
Yeah, it could be anything.
But that is a good point. If you look at the picture, these are guns from up north. So.
And we know Smeggy ain't above taking it out of one of his friends' bags.
That's
his friends put get buns.
That is perfectly true.
Wow.
That's where that Lover Marlin action from. That was my buddy's dad's from back in the day that he got when he passed away. Anyways, this one's.
I just want to say that nobody's going to get this, Beggy. I love your choice because
it did work because it didn't go through on my end. But anyways, so you guys know the answer now.
Yep. Yeah.
Boy, and you said mine sounded tiny.
Yeah, that definitely sounds small, don't it?
It sounds like that, I guess.
Short action, at least, like a quick action.
Yeah. Very short action.
Yes. Well, it is Smeggy's.
J-frame? What is Clay thinking?
incorrect.
A revolver?
I think.
High point?
No, it's
says high point on Angry.
Yeah.
We got a 1022.
Need some a little more specific.
17 HMR, 1022.
Not a buckmark.
It's not a plunger.
We've already had a very close answer, but we're looking.
I don't think Angry's listening.
Yeah, Angry was the closest so far.
Yeah.
Smeggy took a plunger.
Aha, bingo.
Bing, bang, and boom.
Yep.
Good job, Angry American.
Carbine.
You guys probably.
I don't know how you would have guessed that though.
Well, I think our hint probably helped.
Do you guys have sound effects?
Oh yeah, had to.
On your chat. Earlier today, everybody back.
What's it under? Control room or
whatever the one? Oh no, I just got it back. The yellow one. Look at that. I said it and then it popped up on my thing. That's creepy.
Google is listening, man.
No, it's still there. That's weird.
So that hasn't been here for weeks, months really. And then they turn off everything and now we get everything back again. So thanks YouTube for being weird and dumb and scaring everybody.
Oh, it says it will no longer work after April 25th, so I wonder what's up with that.
And that's when it started working.
That was yesterday. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're just messing with us all. All right, so that was the beginning. So if Smeggy, if there's any way you can let us know who is eligible for the second round of the tactical quiz. Oh, he's like, screw this whole effort. I like how he took a lot of responsibility for being a big part of the show. And then as soon as it's his time to shine, out of here.
Yeah, gone.
He's gonna take his bat and ball.
Wait a minute. Sandy, don't leave yet. Sandy, wait. Sandy, I'm narrowcasting to you. Don't leave yet. You get a guess. Or so basically G-Webs is going to put up the link one more time to the Instagram, right?
I'm going to show it on
and basically you're going to guess. Okay, there you go. Even better. And you're going to guess, put a number down of how many rounds of 40 are in the blender.
G-Webs, are you going to webcast the counting?
Hold on. Let me get this in order here. So Smeggy is going to be able to tell us who is eligible for this. The people that are eligible who have won the first stage, all the winners of the first stage of the tactical quiz, will be able to guess here. Only their answers will be counted, and we'll try not to comment on the other answers. It'll be the one who gets closest without going over will be the winner. And I'll play the video here so you can get a couple, like a 360-degree view of how many rounds are in this blender. And this is a standard size blender like everybody's has in their kitchen.
We're about to go live on the Daily Gun Show every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. And today is the technical quiz. And the question today is how many 40 Smith & Wesson rounds are in this blender? So that'll be the question. This is the clue. And later on in the show, it's about to start, we will have the answer and the winner. So how many 40 Smith & Wesson are in this blender? Looking forward to seeing you over at the show. Thanks for watching. We're about to go live on the Daily Gun Show.
And anybody that's putting a number out there that's your guess. And the only one, as far as I know, that has two guesses.
Oh, Pink and Angry have two guesses. We have Clay, Native Gun, Too Hottie, Artisan Tony, Pants, and Sandy. Or some guy in Sandy.
Are the only people eligible? And Smeggy will read that list in a second, but I want to narrowcast to Clay, who was asking how do you pause a Instagram video? You watch it on a computer, and you just keep clicking it wherever you want to pause.
Or Pacific.
So anyway, that's how you pause an Instagram video. So Smeggy, can you read again who is eligible for the counting or for the guessing here?
Yeah, let me just pull that window up again. So we have Clay, Native Gun, Too Hottie, Pink, Artisan Tony, Pink again, Pants, Angry, some guy in Sandy, and Angry again. So I'm going through the list here. Native Gun said 28. I'll put that in for his guess. Angry says 37, so that can be his first guess. He gets another one. Clay says 33.
You can tell us who else you need a number from, and then we can tell you who the number is.
That sounds good. So I got to Too Hottie at 20. Yeah, Artisan Tony had 38. Chris, you didn't win, dude. Pants was 24.
Are you sure Chris didn't win?
I'm pretty sure. I didn't write down Chris.
Yeah, Chris did not.
And then Angry says 32, so I'm taking that as your second guess. And then Native Gun says 28. Well, you already said 28. You can't have two guesses of the same number. Okay, so I need
from each other, and that means his guess is 0.
Yeah, exactly. So Pink gets two guesses. I know he said he was driving.
He said
some guy in Sandy says later, gents. So I guess 26 and 35. Okay. 26, 35. And if Sandy's there, I think he's gone. So I guess he bowed out. Oh, I got
believe
one.
He did.
I'll say that. I don't know. No, never mind. Yep, he didn't guess.
So did we get everybody's guess in?
Everyone except some guy in Sandy, but I think he's gone.
Okay.
Yep, I think
so what was the answer?
The answer was 48. 48. 2 less than a full box of 40s.
Why didn't you do a live count to make it more dramatic?
Because
so then that makes
camera over there.
That makes the winners Artisan Tony at 38.
There you go. So today,
nice.
I guess we should have. Well, we're gonna have a fabulous prize. I'll get with Tony, and then we'll post something about the fabulous prize before we send it out, and then hopefully next week we won't be doing SOC to the pants. That we'll be able to announce the fabulous prize ahead of time so that everybody can be drooling about it. But hopefully Tony will have some fun, and he'll have some stuff to do videos with potentially.
Oh, nice.
So it's Artisan Tony, right? He's the one that won.
Artisan Tony won. That's correct.
Yep.
Congratulations, Tony.
Angry by 1.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tony. Way to go, Tony.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one said 42. I mean, that would have won if someone would have guessed 42.
Seriously, would have won tonight if somebody would have just been accurate. All right, so that takes us to the tactical quiz. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. We do enjoy that part of the show. It's one of the reasons we started doing the show on a regular basis, and stay tuned for more attention to that. We're not getting much traction on our Patreon. We've got, am I still screen sharing? I should probably screen share, bring this up again. We've got some people participating, like we mentioned earlier in the show. We're getting our podcasting paid for. We're getting the shipping pretty much paid for, I guess. We're not to a point where our patches that we're giving out each day are technically paid for or anything. So it's basically, we can't say that we're gaining a lot of momentum on trying to have our show funded by the people participating. So one of the things I'm going to try to do before we have to make serious decisions is probably soup up the tactical quiz a little bit more. So next Wednesday, stay tuned for that. It may be the last tactical quiz, but it'll certainly most elaborate tactical quiz. Hopefully it'll be the beginning of a lot more and a bigger, better tactical quiz. But otherwise, That was the tactical quiz this week. Next, we'll be talking about the gun show or the gun shop of the day. Where are we at with time anyway? Probably screw the schedule today pretty bad. Are we 2 hours? We're like almost at 2 hours right now.
Yeah, hour 40.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about Old West Gun Room. I think Clay sent that one in, right? We've already talked about it. He posted some pictures on Instagram. Those are in the description to the show. So since we've already talked about that one before, we'll mention that it is a pretty cool little gun shop in El Cerrito, different place, El Cerrito, California. And it did seem pretty cool. So thanks for Clay, I believe it was, for sending that in via email a while back. And normally every day we like to feature a gun shop a little more deeply than that. Same thing with the movie. We try to talk about a gun movie every day, something that's related to firearms that's worth watching. I think this is a movie, though, that everyone has seen, so we can do this. We can abbreviate this one pretty much, and we're not going to do any disservice to the movie. It's a freaking excellent movie. It's called Serenity. I'm just going to assume everyone's going to give it 2 thumbs up.
I'm going to give it 1,000,000 thumbs up.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to give it infinity thumbs up then.
I'm going to give infinity plus 1.
We have to give it 2 thumbs up for every awesome thing about the show. I mean, that'd be a heck of a lot.
Did she say no power in the verse can stop me? I mean, what more can you say to that?
I mean, I was drawn in for the sci-fi, but I stayed for the old Western kind of thing that kind of worked its way into the show.
Yeah, it was
I
a good
was
show.
drawn in for the daughter of the doctor, but I stayed for the prostitute.
Wait a minute. She's not the daughter of the doctor. What are you talking about?
Sister of the doctor? Whoever, the one chick who's...
Yeah, that's a lot less creepy that way.
Okay, I was drawn in by the Terminator, but then I stayed for the prostitute.
Right. The mechanic's not so bad either, by the way.
Oh, please. Every single chick on that show is better than the next one. So, yeah, excellent show.
Yeah, and it had Ron Glass from, Barney Miller.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was Shepard, dude.
Well, and the thing is,
Oh,
too,
you're right, he was.
if we're speaking to the youngins who don't know what we're talking about, obviously this is the movie for Firefly, which
Right.
Experiencing the show getting cut off early, and then, I mean, how many years later did the movie come out? It was like a finally, like, oh man, like we get to wrap everything up and stuff. So it had its own thing going there, which you wouldn't appreciate if you just like watched them all in a binge watching session.
You know, and I forgot that there was a movie in addition to the TV series, because that's on Netflix. That's how I saw it.
Well, and it finally got the finale that the show never gave it.
Right, yeah. That show got canceled way too early. Stupid Fox.
Fox executives sabotaging their own best thing, don't even know it.
If there's any light at the tunnel, haven't there been rumors of a cartoon of it coming out?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I got no problem with animated Firefly. You could do so much.
Yeah, I would take that. It was a cool story too.
I know there's a comic book, but I have not read it.
All right, I got to move at double speed because the old dog is walking around like if he's antsy, and that's never a good sign. So that was our movie of the day. If you've got suggestions for them, we're about to run out. We just have about 3 more on the schedule, so we could use some suggestions. We have a gun of the day, Bob Dan Wesson. Is there a specific one? Oh, yes. What's this Dan Wesson you're talking about?
Bob?
It was the Dan
Hello,
Wesson.
Bob.
Razorback 10 millimeter. You all familiar with it?
Right. Dan Wesson 10mm Razorback. They're now producing it again. It is just a incredible 1911 based pistol made by Dan Wesson, and it's in 10 mil. What more can I say? A 1911 that shoots 10 mil made by Dan.
Well, the nice thing about Echo is you're actually saying it twice.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I've never seen one in real life.
Me neither.
I imagine they're not inexpensive.
I didn't even know they made them. I'm not a big fan of Dan Wesson. Everyone
they are
Go ahead, Bob.
They're pricey, but they're a pricey gun, but they're just an incredible shooting gun. But of course, I got to shoot one years ago. I guess it was Wesson was. I can't remember. Yeah, it's
Pretty sure he said
11, but it
was a Dan Wesson.
built. Yeah, but it's so it's 19 high quality. It just shoots like.
All right. Well, with that, I guess I'll play host. Bob, you're robot really bad, or is it just me?
No, he is.
Okay. So Dan Wesson's
Mr. Roboto.
very well made ones. I've never appreciated them as that much. They do shoot well and they are accurate, but to me, all I remember is cleaning Dan Wessons all the time. They were the only guns I ever had growing up where we'd shoot them enough that they just stopped working, and you had to take them home and clean them. Like they would get built up, and maybe it's because of what we were reloading and it was unique to us, but when they had that kind of tolerance, it just was no fun. I'd rather have shot plain old, while we were shooting revolvers, just plain old Smith
I
or
was going
something.
to ask, is that kind of like, the attribute of being a very tight, accurate gun being the downside is the moment it starts to get really kind of dirty inside, it starts to become, you start having malfunctions.
I guess it would lend itself to that.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Increased friction.
Clean. If you keep it really clean, it shoots really well. But as soon as it starts getting gummed up at all, you're going to start having failures. It's not. Unless you keep your gun spotless, it's not probably the best carry gun.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why Glocks are very reliable is because they don't have very tight tolerances.
All right, everybody down with a 10mm 1911 though?
I wouldn't mind owning one, to be honest.
That's the 1911 I shot was a 10mm. It wasn't a Dan Wesson though. It was the Delta Elite. It was neat.
Oh yeah, it's just they've got the caliper, and they've got that perfect rounding design and reliability. So, I mean, they've got everything going for them.
All right. So that was an abbreviated gun of the day. Thanks, Bob. Next, we'll go to. But then I had something here about email. Or do we want to push that off to another day?
Yeah, we're probably going kind of long. We can push that to another day.
I'll just zap it down to tomorrow. So we do appreciate people sending in emails, but we're just going to take the whatever discretion or whatever and move it just so that we can carry on with today's show. Did I put that in the right spot? Yeah, I think I did. No.
And just to do the break real quick, kind of between the second and third segment, even though we're kind of skipping the third segment, head over to the Daily Gun Show or dailygunshow.com. Check out the website. That's where you can see the patch panel of what you can win on the pop quiz, and we post all the show notes over there. And
it's an excellent little website.
We do. There's not much to it. It's got our bios. As soon as I think Z's waiting for a bio. I don't remember if Smeggy's got one over there or not yet.
I'm waiting for a personality.
I was waiting for you to put me in the list so I can add a bio. I haven't been over there in a while though.
And I think we've got we've got the links to the various channels that we have on the different platforms out there. So if you do feel like taking the time to check out the website, link over to the various social media platforms, we would really appreciate it if people would log into iTunes. If you don't even have it on your computer, I could totally understand that. It's a resource hog. But if you'd ever do the favor of downloading it, going over to our Daily Gun Show podcast, giving us some feedback, a comment, thumbs up or stars or whatever it is over there, and then uninstall it. It still counts as a piece of feedback. The feedback over there is critical to the podcast being recommended to listeners. There are quite a few gun-related podcasts over there. Not very many of them do it on a daily basis, so our presence over there isn't proportional to the amount of content we're pushing up there. So it would be great if we got a little bit more coverage over on the iTunes, because it's the one thing that actually costs money besides our time, which we are happy to donate every single day. It does actually cost money to put this stuff up onto a server to be streamed over to iTunes, and there are some people that listen to it over there, and it is an advertising way. It's a way that we can make our show known to people that are listening to stuff like this on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So we really would appreciate those efforts, those favors, to help us get more people listening. And with that, I'll say thanks for the people that have been listening today. Of course, it was a little bit special day with the tactical quiz, but there's quite a few people listening, more than 3 dozen all day long, which is a lot for the show. So we do appreciate the people that watch us live next week with the tactical quiz. And we're trying to get Dano to do it with the daily quizzes as well. We'll be doing some via email. So again, those people that are listening in the future or on iTunes can also try to participate in a few of the thank yous that we do for the audience. As soon as we started talking about that, people started dropping like flies. I'm sure some people are going to be heading over to Match Chat. Do we know if he is or is not going to have the Antifa guy over there?
I do not know.
He was planning on it, so I'm not sure if the guy backed out or not, but if he didn't, Matt's show will be starting here in a couple of minutes on YouTube. He'll simulcast it over at Gun Channels as well. Then tomorrow, being Thursday, more than likely we'll see Sean doing the Good Morning Gun Channels long format show for the people that hang out on gun channels during the day. Today was an epic chat. We had DB in there for a long time. Flippy was in there. Dano was in there. Smeggy was in there. It was pretty fun chat for most of the morning. Again, infinitely better than listening to radio or stuff. I've been working on some projects, so having regular people, especially people that we know, chatting in a format that we can comment in the text or even jump into the chat for a period of time and be part of the conversation is just really fun. So thanks for all the people that participate in that and make it happen. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, for episode number 299. We'll be talking about our customer service experiences with firearms manufacturers, and then everybody can tell us about theirs as well. We'll be talking about the best 1 box of ammo, 50-shot target drills, and we talk about shooting events on Thursdays. Of course, all of our daily stuff, and we pushed off that email question till tomorrow. So thanks, everybody. If you guys have anything else, otherwise we'll let Bob take us out.
I'll be taking Bob's spot for today.
Typical American doing a job a Canadian won't do.
Yeah. He was having some internet issues, so I offered. So, anybody else have anything they want to throw out there?
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody, and good job, Arson Tony. Hope to see you at NRA.
Yep. All right, we like to end each show with a quote. Today we have one from George Washington. The very atmosphere of firearms anywhere restrains evil interference. They deserve a place of honor with all that's good. And on that note, thank you for listening, and please be prepared.
Guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.